Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. This is the final video in my Many Minds guide. Well, final at least at this point. We're going to be talking about some final thoughts. This is a new section to the guide that I'm hoping will kind of condense some really key points for players, and I'll kind of write this down in the description for those that want a written list. Okay. Tip number one is always play Ever Multiplying Swarm on turn one. Remember, you're going to be playing this card between 1 and 2 times every game. You'll never have the opportunity to play it a third time because whenever you're playing this card, you'll play it on turn 1, then you'll play it usually around turn 4 and 5, and then by the time you can reclaim and play this card, it's already turn 7, 8, and by then the game is over. Tip number 2 is make sure to separate both Boon of Bedevilment as well as Dreadful Tide onto opposite turns. Remember, whenever you play Boon of Bedevilment or Dreadful Tide plus another card, you're going to hit that left tier innate second threshold. There you go. So make sure you kind of separate these. If you play both of those cards in a single turn, then what will end up happening is you'll hit that innate, but then the following turn you won't. And that is pretty painful. So make sure to separate Bedevilment as well as Dreadful Tide. Tip number 3 is make sure you tell your teammates about Boon of Bedevilment in advance. So based on the starting Explorer, as you play down Ever Multiplying Swarm on turn 1, you should know which turn, either turn 2 or turn 3, Bedevilment is coming out. Make sure your teammates know and can plan around it so you can get maximum value. Tip number 4 is there are some cases against adversaries where they'll be doing 4 damage, in which case your defend 2 is not enough. If that is the case, you can either opt to rush towards the 3 plays to get the defend 4, or you can use a little tactic with Boon of Bedevilment to kind of ask for another spirit's presence, and then you'll give Bedevilment to them. So what I've done is I've simulated Sweden. So Sweden town explorers are going to be doing 4 damage total. So I've simulated a game with that. I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So we have Mountain Explorer, Jungle Royal backing. We're going to do standard Many Minds stuff. We're going to just play that there. We're going to play Multiplying Swarm. River is just going to place 2 presents. It's going to grow. We're doing Travel River. And don't get too caught up in what I'm doing. This is just all standard stuff. There we go. We skip the first event, build mountains, and the Explorer will be Wetlands. Wetlands is actually a devastating Explorer for River. There we go. Okay. Many Minds is going to use Multiplying Swarm, creating the 2 beasts here on C3. River is just going to do a bunch of stuff. I guess wash away. They'll wash away this. Then they'll play River's Bounty, creating a Dahan, gathering a Dahan, making a Sacred Site, and then Massive Flooding. It'll push out the Explorer. We'll throw it over here to the jungle there. And then both will time pass. Okay. Now, I didn't tell you this, but I actually already planned Bedevilment to be going out next turn, so we'll play Bedevilment as well as Guide. And we'll place these 2 presents over here, I guess, and we'll take the blight here on C7 to scale. So this is where you kind of tell River, okay, we have that right innate, that defend 2, and this is where we give Bedevilment to River. River will place those presents, and then with that extra presence, you'll get an extra defend 1, and as you can see, the 3 defend into that 4 damage. Now that I'm actually looking at this, I actually think I'm supposed to still go bottom track. I know I'm using this as a showcase, but the board sees a very bad Sweden board. If I ever do a Sweden series, I'll explain more to why it's really bad. But I think I might have to actually skip my C7 just looking at this board, and I think I need an extra play, like playing Dreadful Tide. Yeah, yeah, not entirely sure how I'm supposed to play it out, but basically this is what I'm trying to showcase is just that you can use this bedevilment to get an extra defend to combined with your red innate to defend that land. Tip number 5 is to experiment with many mines openings. I've discussed 4 different openings, and those are all written down in the opening guide section. If you just go down to the description, you'll see all 4 of them posted. Um, 3 of the openings are going to talk about just spamming G2, and I highly recommend just giving the G3 opening a try. You'll be surprised just how strong it is and a lot of the cool things you can do with playing G3 on turn 1. Tip number 6 is don't let your Dahan die. You are a Dahan spirit, so preserving Dahan life is critical because you need Dahan to counterattack to kill buildings. A lot of times, I'll see players they'll make choices that will just let Dahan just die, or they won't really prioritize their lives, and then their entire board looks like New York City, and they can't kill anything, and then they need to fear out the deck. And really, many minds shouldn't really be in those situations where you have to fear out the deck. You should be able to just kill everything. I think outside of like England and maybe Habsburg, you really should just be able to slaughter everything if with proper Dahan defense and proper major drafting. So really make sure you keep those Dahan alive and try to set up counterattacks as much as you can. Tip number 7 is zero cost miners are your best friend. It allows you to accumulate energy for heavy hitting majors. And that's one of the big benefits that Minimines has is it only has 1 energy cost across its 5 uniques. This 2 energy. And if you're playing more zeros, you'll continue to gain that energy, and eventually you'll stockpile around 6 to 8 energy. And by that, or once you have that energy, you can play whatever major you pick up 2, 3 times, sometimes even 4 times if you pick up a good 2 cost like Tiger's Hunting. Tip number 8 is every beast you move or place should have a purpose. Beast events can help stop builds and even ravages if you take gambles on lands. So what do I mean by that? So you can see here on C5 on that turn 2 in this game, I should no matter what place a presence in that C5 because maybe just maybe this event might have beast damage. It didn't. Actually, this is a very tilting card, but you get the point. If there's some sort of beast destroy, beast damage, you can kill this explorer and you'll actually stop the build and you can get further ahead that way. And that's probably the most interesting part about many minds is trying to maximize the probability of you having a favorable beast event, and that's with just proper beast positioning. Maybe you might get beast damage, beast attack, and so forth. And that leads me to tip number 9, and that is before you steal adjacent beasts, plan for possible beast events. And I'm referring to just when you're going to steal beasts from adjacent boards. So if I'm going to take this beast on e6, I should make sure maybe this land isn't building. So if there's an explorer there, maybe it's Sands is exploring and building instead of wetlands, right? And a lot of times Minimines just loves to take beasts. Well, if this land is building, I may just say, I'm not going to take this beast this turn. I'll take it next turn because there's that chance that e6 gets solved by beast events. So just kind of be aware of the board state, how to kind of maneuver beast properly so that you don't accidentally take away someone's chance of having a favorable beast event. And the last tip that I have is make sure you pick a good board. And I know we talked about the different boards and board selection, but based how the boards are assembled in multiplayer, there's going to be different sets of adjacencies. And it's very important that you pick a board that is very centralized and has easy access to the different beast gatherers. And for instance, for a 2-player game, it's quite easy. I mean, there's only one beast, but now if you're playing a 4, 5, or 6-player game, and your board looks like let me load one up actually. Here we go. We have a 6-player game. And I'm looking at this board, and if I'm going to pick a board, maybe like F7 here, I'll have access to this beast here and this beast, but all of the beasts on the right side of the island, I just won't be able to touch. So picking board F is something I may um, do a lot less likely. Now, for instance, board C, we know board C is already a good board, and we have easy access to this beast on A1, also on E6, and then also I can easily pick up D3 and B5. So just looking at this setup, board C is just the go-to board for me. Now, obviously, if someone wants board C, then you might have to pick a different board, and it's not that big of a deal. But like board C, given this setup, is the perfect board. So I hope you guys enjoyed the series that I made for Many Minds. I'll be doing some gameplay videos, some single adversaries, some doubles, and I'll continue producing Many Minds content. This is one of my favorite spirits in the game, and I'm glad that people selected it because I've been wanting to create a guide, and I just wanted to get an excuse to create one. So I'll see you guys in the next video.